Imagine waking up one day and your AI is gone. The company raised prices by 10x overnight. Or the government banned access in your region. Or the server just went down. And your entire workflow, your business, your product collapses with it. That is the terrifying reality of depending on cloud AI. You do not own it. You just rent it. Until they decide you cannot anymore. Right now, we are living through the biggest shift in AI history. And almost nobody is talking about it. For years, we were told that real AI power only lives in the cloud, locked away in massive server farms, controlled by a handful of tech giants. You had to pay them. You had to trust them with your data. You had no choice. But that entire system is being torn apart right now. Imagine this. An AI that runs completely on your laptop. No internet. No monthly bill. No company watching your data. Just pure intelligence sitting right there on your device. That is not a dream anymore. That is happening right now. And the numbers are insane. One developer burned through $5,000 to $6,000 just testing ideas using cloud APIs. The moment he moved to a local model running on a Mac Studio, his costs dropped to zero instantly. Not reduced, not cheaper, zero. That is the kind of economic reset we are talking about. Because here is the problem with cloud AI that nobody tells you. Every time you send a query to a cloud AI, your private data leaves your device. It travels over the internet, it gets processed on someone else's server, and you pay for every single token. Every single one. The latency is real, the privacy risk is real, the cost is real. But local AI destroys all three problems at once. We are entering an era of zero token costs, air-gapped security where your data never leaves the room, and near zero latency so fast that real-time robotics and edge devices can actually use it. This is not just a better version of cloud AI. This is a completely different philosophy. The intelligence comes to you, not the other way around. So in this video, I am going to show you exactly how this local AI revolution works, who is building it, what it can already do, and why the cloud monopoly is cracking faster than anyone expected. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will never think about AI the same way again. Now here is the technology that actually makes all of this possible. Google's Gemma 4 family. And before you think this is just another AI model release, stop. Because what Google did here is genuinely different. They did not just shrink a big cloud model and call it local. They redesigned AI from scratch for the physical world. The Gemma 4 family runs everywhere. Mobile phones, workstations, embedded systems, Raspberry Pis. It is built to live on the hardware you already own. You have the E2B and E4B models for ultra-efficient mobile inference. These run on everyday Android phones with zero internet. And on the other end, you have the 3.1B dense model for heavy-duty workstations that need maximum reasoning power. But the most exciting model in the entire lineup is the 2.6B model. This is why. It uses a design called Mixture of Experts. Out of 25 billion total parameters, a smart internal dispatcher only activates 3.8 billion of them for any single task. Think about that for a second. You get the deep knowledge of a massive model, but the speed of a tiny one. It is like having a team of 100 specialists, but only calling the 3 or 4 you actually need for each specific job. Blazing fast, incredibly smart, running locally on your machine. This right here is the engineering breakthrough that makes local AI viable at scale. But what about the smaller E2B and E4B models? These are the ones running on your phone. And historically, tiny models fail fast. They forget things. They slow down. They break under pressure. Hana, Google solved this with something called per-layer embeddings. Here's the simple version. Instead of one shared memory system for the whole model, each layer gets its own dedicated mini memory. It packs maximum intelligence into an ultra-small footprint. This is the exact technology that stops these small models from failing on everyday devices. Your Android phone, a Raspberry Pi, a cheap edge device in a factory. The small models are no longer the weak option. They are the smart option when your hardware has limits and your data must stay private. Okay, so the theory sounds amazing. But what actually happens when you try to run advanced AI or smartphone in the real world? Researchers documented exactly this. They tried to build an Android puzzle game entirely offline using small local language models. And they hit 5 brutal engineering failure points that nobody talks about. Failure 1. The model kept violating output formats, like randomly wrapping code in Markdown for absolutely no reason. Failure 2. It struggled badly with hard constraints. Ask it for exactly 50 words and it gives you 73. Failure 3. Over a long session, the context degrades so badly that the model just starts repeating itself like a broken record. It is a wild, unpredictable frontier. And overcoming it was not easy. Developers had to throw out every assumption about how AI works. No more treating it like a magical oracle. They had to treat it like a very literal, occasionally stubborn coworker. They used all caps priority markers in prompts, highly specific examples, rigid hard boundaries baked into every instruction. Basically, they had to engineer their way out of the chaos. And here is the punchline: they succeeded. The app worked fully offline, on a smartphone, with no cloud at all. That is the reality of edge AI development. Messy, intense, and absolutely worth it. Now let us zoom out from smartphones and talk about something with even higher stakes. Let me say that again. The intelligence comes to you. Your data never leaves the building. Not a single byte. For organizations in healthcare, defense, legal, and finance, this is a total game changer. You get the full power of frontier AI. With zero data exposure, zero cloud dependency, zero ongoing token costs. The old argument used to be that local AI is just not powerful enough for serious enterprise use. That argument is dead now. And Gemma 4 is the reason why. Okay, now here is where things get genuinely mind-blowing. Because this is not just about saving money or protecting data anymore. Local AI is now solving problems at the frontier of science and mathematics. Let me give you two specific examples that stopped me cold when I read about them. Example 1. Protein function prediction. First, at a recent hackathon, researchers used the tiny Gemma 4 E2B model, the smallest model in the family, running entirely locally, to predict protein functions. Now, if you do not work in biology, here is why that matters. Proteins control almost everything in your body. Understanding what a protein does is the foundation of drug discovery, disease research, and genetic medicine. And it is incredibly complex. But instead of just spitting out a statistical guess, the Gemma 4 E2B model used a specialized thinking mode. It generated deep, interpretable biological analysis entirely on local hardware. It even output the results in two languages, English and Vietnamese. A tiny AI model, running on local hardware, doing frontier biology research, and explaining it bilingually. Let that sink in. Data from platforms like Kaggle completely validates this. Even the smallest local AI variants can handle high-level scientific reasoning when they are properly integrated into a data pipeline. Offline audio transcription running flawlessly on a regular Pixel smartphone. No cloud, no subscription, just your phone doing it locally. AI agents that look at an image and generate an original song from scratch. Locally, on your own machine. And all of this is powered by a context window of 256,000 tokens. That means your local AI can read an entire codebase, an entire legal compliance document, an entire technical manual in one single pass. You do not have to break your data into pieces anymore. You do not have to carefully manage what the AI can see. You feed it the whole picture, and it understands everything. Think about what that means for a developer building a product. You run your entire codebase through a local AI. Zero token cost, zero latency, zero data leaving your machine. Think about what that means for a company managing compliance documents. You process everything internally. Your lawyers review the AI output. Your data never touches a third-party server. The era of the cloud monopoly is fracturing. Frontier AI intelligence is becoming a local engine under your complete control. Not something you borrow, not something you rent, something you own. The technology has evolved from a chatbot you visit on a website to a core piece of infrastructure that lives inside your devices. And the tools to build with it are in your hands right now. So here is my challenge to you. What is the first thing you would build if your AI cost $0 and never touched the internet? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this video opened your eyes to what local AI can actually do, smash that like button right now. Subscribe if you want more AI content that actually goes deep. Because the revolution is not coming, it is already here. And the only question is whether you are going to be part of it. Hit like if this blew your mind, share it with someone who needs to see this, and subscribe for more AI content every week.